Hello, this is Diana Olenik again, and today with us we have Linda Drosdowech. She is a business and life coach, and she is here to tell us about her amazing story and how she actually get people to get from when they are starting out, they are confused, to getting them to achieve their goals and to actually get results. Thank you so much, Linda, for being here today. You are local. This is the very first time that we have an interview with someone locally. And I'm super excited to have this amazing episode with someone from Winnipeg. Thank you so much, Linda. And please let us know, how did you get started in this journey?
Thank you for having me, Diana. And I really appreciate that I'm the first person that you are interviewing locally in Winnipeg. And you and I met through LinkedIn, just a very off the cuff, just said hello. And then we got together and on a virtual chat. And it's been great getting to know you. I've really appreciated that, how open you are. And you seem so you're just so passionate about what you do, and that inspires other people. So thank you for having me on your show. I really appreciate it. And to talk a little bit about how I got started, I am a business and life coach, and I started a business for myself a couple of years ago, and it was focused more on writing and editing. Writing and editing has been a lifelong passion for me. I started when I was 22. I had journals, and I really saw it as a way of, like, it was such a creative act, and I loved words. I loved storytelling, and I saw the world as a way, like, I would go out and live my life, and then I would come back and write my life. It was both. It was just this really dynamic process. So I had various jobs and careers throughout my life, but I landed on writing and editing and wanted to create a business from that. So I was writing articles for magazines. I was doing editing for different people. I was creating blogs, and I just was starting to expand this business. But what happened was I began to meet more and more women in business. And I noticed this commonality between us was that so many people that I met were struggling with procrastination, with self-doubt, with feeling stuck and confused and overwhelmed, and really not trusting themselves, not trusting their instincts, feeling very held back from expressing their real selves, from speaking up, from taking risks, all of these things that I started to see in other people. I knew that I had experienced in my life many, many times, and that I knew that I had a way of working through that. And I knew that if I could get myself to work through these things, that I knew that I could help other people get through some of these things so that they could express themselves. Creative expression is such a huge part of my life. And I think being in business is such a creative expression. And so I saw these women, and I really wanted to help them bring forth their ideas and their products and services that really represented themselves and also were such a benefit to the world. Every woman that I meet who's in business has a very beautiful vision of how she wants to change the world, of what she wants to do for the world, very much community minded. And I really want that for the world, all these incredible gifts and offers that women have in their businesses, the world needs. So I started to, at that time, shift over, and I started to do more public speaking on these issues. I love to public speak. One of the reasons that I got a podcast of my own was that I love being able to public speak. I love communicating in that way. I particularly love it when you're in front of a live audience. But even, being able to have podcasts, have discussions with someone like yourself is still really a beautiful way of connecting. And so I started to talk more on stages, and I started to do some podcasting, and it really just came to fruition that I was like, this is what I was always meant to do. I was always meant to help women find their voice, express their creativity, become financially strong, uh, you know, um, uh, just bring what's inside them out into the world. So that was my journey to get from where I was to where I am now, which is a business and life coach. I work with women entrepreneurs, but I do a lot of writing on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, and I I feel that my messages don't just reach women entrepreneurs, that they are my content reaches so many different people, people who have goals that they feel stuck in, people who want to feel more courage in their life, or who have risks that they want to take, that they need somebody to encourage them to take. So I feel like my messages reach not just entrepreneurs or business owners, but they reach a variety of people. So, which pleases me. I want to help all sorts of people, and so I feel like my content reaches just a vast array of people. But my main focus, my main clients are women entrepreneurs, women who identify as women entrepreneurs, and so that's where I'm at right now.
Thank you so much. Yes, I think that is such a great support. We feel very confused during these times. Sometimes we just don't know what's our real identity. We know that there is, maybe someone is in a job, in a regular job, and they know that maybe they like to explore some other of their creative skills, but they just don't know sometimes how to make the jump, like take the leap, because that is a little bit difficult psychologically to let go of ideas that are preconceived that sometimes we have. So it's such a great support. I say again, thank you so much for creating all the resources that you do. I read permanently what you write. I invite anybody to actually follow you and register in your accounts to receive all that daily dose of real motivation. Thank you for that. So, do
No,
you have any specific story that you'd like to share about working with a client, like a nice, story that you like to showcase of the results that they got, or something nice that you want to share?
sure. I love particularly, you were talking about the fact that that I'm your first podcast guest who's from the local community. And I was doing a webinar recently. So I was speaking to a number of women who were rural Manitobans and have businesses in Dauphin and Swan River and Neepawa and Minnedosa, a lot of the smaller communities around. And it was so rewarding to hear their businesses, these small businesses, very, very hands-on businesses, people who are creating their own um, like lotions and from Manitoba wildflowers and Manitoba plants, taking the essence of these plants and creating them into these beautiful potions. People who do yoga and people who are writers or web designers. It was wonderful to see the community that gets formed with women entrepreneurs. You know, I really see that that there is this beautiful collaborative process that happens, especially when I'm working in groups. One of the methods that I use when I'm working in a big group is I get people to ask for help and offer help. And it's when I did that with this group, the rural women entrepreneurs, the ability that they had to offer help, and to, you know, if one person said, hey, you know, I need help finding a somebody to do my graphics for my, you know, my website, and everyone was able to say, you know what, I know somebody, or I used this person myself. Being able to offer each other help and support, you could see, was creating this sense of community. And it feels good to lift other people up, right? Like that, you know, ability to offer somebody help makes you feel good. It makes you feel like, oh my gosh, I do have incredible things to offer, and I can help this person. And in return, you know, I can ask for help myself. I've noticed, you know, most of the women I know find it easier to give help than it is to ask for help. But I encourage people to ask for help as well, and say, you know, I'm struggling with this. You know, does any, you know, who's struggled with this before, and can you help me with this? So that's something that I like to do. I like to do that in my Facebook group, Be the Best Boss of You. I called it that because a lot of what I teach and the messages that I give are to help women really empower themselves to be the best boss of themselves. And when, you know, you were talking about, you know, we sometimes feel that confusion in our business. One of the things that I like to teach is learning how to make decisions and trusting yourself to make decisions, knowing that there's not really a right or a wrong decision to make, that you just need to make a decision, learn from that decision, evaluate whether it went really well or if you could have learned something else, and then make another decision. It's that process of decision, you know, evaluation, and then keeping going is going to move you faster than spinning in confusion as to, should I do this? Should I do that? You know, is this the right path? Should I, you know, that kind of confusion is, you know, it keeps you in procrastination. It keeps you from moving forward. And it is a muscle to learn how to make decisions and to get quicker at making decisions, and to build that trust in yourself that you can make decisions and that you'll have your own back no matter what happens. And so that's part of the Facebook group that I run, is that it's helping women to learn to make decisions, trust themselves, and trust that no matter what happens, that they can deal with the emotional feelings that might come up. You know, I think that's a lot of times we avoid making decisions because we're afraid of the feelings that might come up. You know, what if I make this decision and then, you know, or I make this offer and nobody, you know, takes me up on it? I'm going to feel embarrassed. I'm going to feel disappointed. I'm going to feel ashamed. And so we avoid that decision because we think, I do not want to feel any of those feelings, right? And learning how to process those feelings, learning that it's, you know, it's okay to feel disappointed or frustrated or embarrassed. That's just part of being human. It's part of taking risks. It's part of taking on bigger challenges and challenging yourself to play a bigger game. It's part of that. And learning how to process that is also one of the key components of what I teach, is being able to sit with those kind of complicated emotions and not let them shut you down. You know that it's just a normal part of business. It's a normal part of being human and being alive, and that, you know, we can get through it, and we can keep going no matter what is happening. And that's something that I think women learn from a pretty early age, that we're not supposed to make mistakes. You know, in school we learn, you know, you're supposed to get the A's. You know, it's wrong to fail. It's wrong to get things wrong. You know, we learn at that such an early age that we're supposed to do it right. And if we're not doing it right, you know, something's really wrong and we're going to get in trouble. So I think we bring that through our adult lives, and that kind of follows us around, that feeling of, you know, I better not get it wrong, right? And that's something that I really, like, I knew in my own life held me back. You know, when I was focusing more on writing, it would, if I pitched, you know, an article idea and I heard back, you know, no, we're not interested, I would take it very personally. I would think, oh my gosh, like, you know, maybe I've chosen the wrong field. You know, maybe this isn't the, you know, the path that I'm supposed to be on. If it, you know, maybe I did it wrong. And it really would cause me to kind of spin out in that confusion and self-doubt, rather than just seeing it as, okay, that's just, you know, one rejection letter. It doesn't mean anything about me personally. It just means, you know, that person wasn't interested right now. What can I learn from this? I'm going to do an evaluation on this and see, well, maybe next time I'll do it this way, and keep going. And so I know what it's like to have those feelings where, you know, you just feel like you're stopped in your tracks, and you know, somebody has told you no, and you just, you know, you let it take over you, and you really take it personally. And so I know so many people who do that themselves. So I really try and articulate that in my messaging as well, that rejection and failure is just a part of the business game. And the sooner we can get better at sitting with that, the quicker results we're going to get.
Yeah, for sure. That's amazing. Linda, do you have any plans of writing any book?
You know, I've toyed around with that idea of writing a book. I'm a very prolific writer right now. You know, I write every day for Facebook. You know, I mean, Instagram. I'm writing almost a blog a day. It's like writing a chapter of a book a day.
Yes.
You know, it's a lot, and I've challenged myself. One of the things that I think is important for business owners and entrepreneurs especially, is to constrain ourselves and focus. Because as an entrepreneur, we have very creative minds, right?
Yeah.
And we have so many ideas coming at us all the time. And wouldn't that be a great book idea? Oh my gosh, I could do that. I could maybe do that course, or I would love to collaborate with that person. We get all these ideas, and so that the project that we're currently working on suddenly starts to feel dull and boring, and that new thing that we've just thought of seems so fun and interesting, you know, and we get kind of lulled into following that next shiny thing, right? And so what I've really tried to do is constrain myself. Right now, I'm focusing on providing one-to-one coaching with clients, and I also do webinar trainings. So I've been doing trainings on connecting online, networking online, getting your to-do list done, working from home. I'm doing a bit of a shift over into creating webinars that are more on wellness right now, in your business, because because the pandemic is really so difficult for so many people,
Yeah.
everyone's mental health is taking a toll.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm constraining on that. And even though I have lovely ideas for courses and books
Mhm.
and masterminds, I am, writing them down and
Mhm.
I'm saying next year,
Yeah.
2021, right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah. For
I'm
sure.
focusing only on this. And it's a
Mhm.
real, it can be a real challenge because all those things seem so exciting and so fun to do. And
Yes.
I mean, I'm such a lover of books and words, that it would be a wonderful goal and to write a book. But right now, I'm like, nope, I'm focusing on this. And I think that's a good message for other women in business is that um, one of the ways that we do procrastinate is we give up too early on projects that we aren't seeing the results quite yet, right? We want to see results quickly. We want clients. We want our products on the shelf. We want results. And if we're not seeing them, we think, well, maybe it's not working. Maybe all the strategies that I'm using aren't really working. Maybe if I try this other thing, that'll work, and that'll be the key. And I think most of us give up a little too early, and we need to get better at focusing, constraining what we're doing, sticking with it, telling ourselves, it's working, the results are coming, the money in your bank account is coming. Stick with what you've decided, to focus on, and keep going. Keep going. And
Yes.
it can be hard. It can be, some of the tasks that we have to do are time consuming and, do take a lot of skill and energy, but, stick with your decision and then reevaluate, like reevaluate in the next quarter, reevaluate whenever you do your business plan, you can make changes then, but it's a really good practice to stick with what you have chosen to focus on and keep going, keep letting your people know that you're out there. Send your emails, get on your social media, call old clients, call, potential clients, do podcasts, put out videos. There's so many ways to let people know that you are here, that you have this wonderful offer, and let people, we always think, am I promoting myself too much? It feels like I'm doing this so much. You're not. Your people love to hear from you, and they want to hear from you, and the more you put out, the more chances that the algorithm of the different social media will pick up on that. So just keep going and stick with what you're doing, and the results are coming.
Mhm. Yes, thanks for that. Speaking about that little project of the book, I love to know about that whenever you have it in the future, and I would love to help you promote the book
Oh,
because that is something that I just love a lot. I'm planning to write a book, like I'm in the process. So
all right.
I think that is very interesting and it'll be super. I'll be the first one to buy your book on Amazon, basically. Yeah, so let
Well,
me
I want
know.
to buy your book. I love
Thank
what you do. I think the
thank you.
the concept of minimalism is
Mhm.
uh, it really does help people to feel empowered in their day-to-day life. I think that's a beautiful thing that you offer, to help businesses get more organized and clear. It helps the mind. What I was just talking about, the focus, it helps people focus. And
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah,
Thank
no.
you.
So I'm glad to hear you're writing a book.
Yes.
When do you
Yes.
write?
When?
When, yeah, when do you write? Do you write in the mornings? Do you write in the
Okay.
afternoon?
Because I have two kids, I have to wake up at 4:30. in order to work out, to the 1 hour of workout that I love. I love to have my body with energy. Whenever I don't work out, I feel that something is going on inside myself. So this is just my own thing. I wake up at 4:30, and then I just do a little bit of writing because it's the moment where my mind is like activated, and like a gratitude type of phrases for the day. And then I write about 30 minutes. Just these 30 minutes, it doesn't have to be for me. I created that supportive goal for myself. I understood it doesn't have to be, like 2 hours per day. At least little by little. I'm not in a rush, so it's totally okay. So that's the only way that I've been able to at least advance a little bit.
That's,
Yes.
that's an amazing ability. I think, you know, I know that people sometimes think it's all or nothing. Like they have to, quit their jobs. And, if somebody wants to write a book, they think, oh, I'm going to just, I'll have to write all day, every day, and I'll have to, quit my job and all this kind of
Yes,
stuff. And it's like,
yes,
no, small little
exactly,
bits done every day, that
exactly.
consistency will
Hmm.
get you the results you want. It's just,
Yeah,
yeah. And I love that you're not in a
mhm,
rush. That's a,
yes, yeah, no.
uh, most people are in a rush. Most
Yes.
people are like, I want to see things quickly. And I think that that's in part because um, there's that voice in a lot of our heads that's saying, I'm not enough. I shouldn't be here where I am. If you're at
Hmm.
the beginning stages of your business, a
Yes,
lot
yes.
of people have that voice saying, but I should be further ahead. I
Hmm.
I should have this successful business already. I should have all these clients. I shouldn't be at the beginner stage. And it's, I'm not enough as I am. And so they're rushing and they're hustling and they're pushing and they're driving, and, which of course ends up exhausting them,
Hmm.
burning them out, and they're not producing uh, work that is from that place of peace and calm
Exactly.
and confidence and self-assurance. They're coming from a place of feeling frantic and worried and doubtful, and you're not going to produce your best results when you're feeling like that. So yeah, taking that time for yourself, although I have to say 4:30 in the morning is that's early.
Yes, I have to go to bed at about 8 or 8:30. And it's for me, so I am able to spend the morning with the kids.
Right. Of
And we
course.
switch then with Steve. So that's why. But
Right.
I love to that. Like I say, I don't feel it as a terrible thing because I feel that's my time for myself. Nobody's around.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna interrupt me. I'm in peace. Like I need to start the day in that peace, like silence and beautiful time for myself. So that's why I chose that time. Is kind of like the only time during the day that I can do it.
I love that. And I mean, I know how important your kids are to you. And that's something that, it's so important for women entrepreneurs to have, especially if they are parents, is to have that time for themselves to,
Yes.
just do that deep thinking and have that time where you can kind of turn in and create your whatever it is you're putting out there. It does take that quiet, that self-reflective time. And of course, as you said, you get your workout in then. And I mean, I am the same as you. I have to move my body in the day.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
I, I'm somebody who goes for a walk almost every day. And I usually, in the summer, I usually go around, it's usually around 5 or so that I'll go for a walk and then come back and get dinner going. But of course, in the wintertime, I'm trying to fit,
Oh,
like, it'll be like 3:30 and I'll be like, oh my gosh, like it's already, it's already starting to get
dark.
dark. So I'm
Yes.
rushing to try and get out the door so I can get in a walk before it gets dark. But
Oh,
um,
yes.
But
Wow.
yes, moving the body is, um, it's just so important. To me, it's a non-negotiable. Like it really is. And I mean, like you said yourself, like I notice it. If I don't do that, if I don't go for a walk or do yoga, like I am like so much more brittle, like I'll just feel irritable, and so no, it really is uh so important for your healthcare and for your just your well-being to get in that movement, and
Yes.
also to not be feeling like you're working all day long. I think that's a challenge right now for many of us who are working from home. You kind of feel like, well, I guess I could be working all the time. There's not that separation between, I'm
Yes.
going to work and then I'm coming home.
Yeah.
It's all kind of blurry. So it's nice
Mhm.
to have, for me anyway, that's at the end of the day, you know, I'll put everything away, and I'm very much, I like you, I like a clear desk, to clear everything off, write my to-do list for the next day, clean everything up, and then, go for a walk, and that moves me into the next part of the night,
That's
like
good.
it's
Yes.
yeah, it's come back, and I can, you
Mhm.
know, make dinner,
That's nice.
talk to my kids, and
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. So yeah, good
That's
for you.
awesome. I
But
like that. Yes. Wow, we have a lot to talk. This is so engaging. I love to ask you many more questions. Maybe I'm gonna ask you this, and you decide if you want to keep going. But let's say that, for example, in 150 years, a terrible catastrophe happens,
yeah.
and all that is left on the earth is a book of you. What would be the title of that book? And what the blurb would say about Linda Drosdowech?
Oh, what a great question. I love that. Um, what would be the title of a book about me? Um, hmm. Oh, let me think. I think I'll start with the blurb first and see if I can title it
For sure.
afterwards. The blurb would be, and I'll write it in third person in my head. Linda was Linda was a lover of life. She embraced change and transformation. She was fascinated by the human mind and psyche and what motivated people. She lived very creatively and sought out experiences that made her life colorful and rich and delicious. And she sought to make a difference in her community. She wanted very much for women to rise up and feel their own personal power from within. She truly loved nature and animals, and she lived a life of the mind. She loved both being in the body and nature, but also loved the mind, and connecting with other people through people's writings, through people's works, through people's creativity. She felt part of a bigger universe, a connection to all humankind through those things. So what would I title that?
That's awesome. It's exciting. I knew I was gonna buy the book even before it's issued.
There you go. I already wrote the back cover.
Yes. Oh, you see how fast I push you to promote your book? Ah, Linda. Done, Linda. Almost done.
It's almost
No,
done.
no excuses.
No, yeah, there we go. How about that? We'll call it no excuses.
Wow, that's a good one. Linda, we might be creating something interesting here right now. Yes, no excuses. Yes,
There you go. No
that's
excuse.
interesting. Yes.
There you
Wow, I'm super excited. Wow, Linda. I
go.
truly appreciate every single word that you say. You're such a kind person, and it's never a coincidence when we connect with any single person that we connect. Is never a coincidence. Sometimes you have that feeling when you meet someone and you have the feeling that maybe there is not a lot of connections. You have a weird feeling there. And the mind starts to judge, right? To judge the
Yeah.
person. But we forget to realize that even that judgment or that idea that we're having there is there just to explain how your mind is working. It's just to explain that it's your own creation, that idea of that person.
Yeah.
So every single person is not a coincidence. It's so beautiful. It's a gift. And I understand, I know that you know all of these things, and there is such a good connection, especially with you, because we are in the same field in terms of what you think about the mind, the kindness, the compassion with people, with the animals, the connection with nature. I'm all about that. So there is such a great connection, and I'm super super thankful with every single person that I get to talk. Is such a gift, as I explained. Yes.
Thank you so much, Diana. I really I feel the same way. We just connected right away, and I'm so appreciative of you and the work that you do. So thank you so much for having me on. People can find me easily. I'm at Linda Drosdowech at Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. It's easy to, easy for people to come and find me. So
And
yeah,
also,
thank you.
um, what are your offers right now? How can people work with you? You said
People
that
can,
you have one-to-one, right?
yes, people can work with me one-to-one. And that's, people can go to my website. Again, it's just easy. It's lindadrosdowich.com.
Okay.
But I also am offering webinars and trainings to different organizations right now who, for their employees, for their communities on, yeah, as I said before, on networking, connecting online, how to structure your day so that you get your to-do list done,
Okay.
how to really be well and be also a business owner right now. So
Mhm.
both of those. So people can just, I'm easy to find. People can find me.
Thank you so much, Linda. I'm very excited and waiting for when the next, creation chapter or whatever of your life you want to share. So we are all in contact through social media, and we can always be sharing each other and sharing with the audience your new adventures. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Linda.
Thank you so much, Diana.
Thank you. And right now, I invite anybody, if you are watching this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. We're always very happy to hear every opinion. And if you're listening to the episode, please rate and review and download the episode, because this is a way so we can all grow together and we can bring more and more interesting, very smart, and very kind people like Linda. Thank you so much, and
Thank
see you
you,
in the next
Diana.
episode.
Thank
Bye for
you.
now.
Bye.